This podcast is part of the C-Suite Radio Network, turning the volume up on business.
Hey, it's Chris Kirkpatrick, and welcome to the Executive Job Search Secrets Podcast. And in today's episode, I have a question for you. What is the big domino that you need to get people to believe so you will have a higher chance of landing your ideal job as quickly as possible? We all know most executive level positions are not posted or advertised. So the big question is this. If those 100K plus jobs are not posted or advertised, how do you go about your job search in a way so you can find the right companies, connect with the right people, and land your next ideal opportunity as quickly as possible and without compromise? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Chris Kirkpatrick, and welcome to Executive Job Search Secrets. All right, so we talk a lot about sales and the fact that when you're in this job search process, it's a sales job, right? A lot of people are not necessarily salespeople, but make no mistake about it, when you're in the job market and you're looking for a job, it is a sales position that you have, and the product that you are selling is yourself, right? And so, like any sales, one of the biggest things that you have to make sure that you're clear about is understanding the value that you bring to the table. And the reason I asked that question of what's the big domino is because of this. Have you ever watched a YouTube video or played dominoes yourself, and you see people, and I bring up the YouTube video because there's some pretty amazing, elaborate YouTube videos of pretty phenomenal domino patterns that people spend, my guess is, weeks setting up, and then all of a sudden, with a flick of a finger, they knock one little domino over, and then everything else just falls into place, right? Everything else just falls in line. And really, that's no different with this. Too many people, executives, job seekers, when they go out into the market, they just kind of like haphazardly go out and try to sell themselves or try to connect with people and network, and they don't reverse engineer the process enough, and they're not being intentional enough, and they're not really thinking proactively enough about what is it that really differentiates me from the marketplace. And it's that old, if I, would you, right, kind of mindset. It's like, if I could do this for you, would it be worth it for you? If you could get somebody to believe that their challenges are something specific, like for instance, you're going to go into a job interview, or you're going to look at a company, maybe you land in an interview, and then you're going to go through a research process with that company. And in that research process, when you're preparing for your interview, you're going to uncover or discover data and information. That data and information, you're going to break it down, and you're going to find how relevant it is to you, your background, your experience, your expertise, what value you bring to the table. And so as you're going through and doing all that, the biggest thing I can tell you is you're looking for that big domino. You're looking for patterns. You're looking to figure out, where do they want to go? What's been holding them back from getting there? How do you and your experience and your skill sets help them fill that gap, right? And you need to get them to believe that, hey, this is where we've come from, which they'll obviously probably align with if you do your research properly. This is where we want to go. These are our problems. And you need to get them to believe that you are the person. That is the big domino. They need to believe if we're coming from A and we want to go to Z, and we see X as our problem, and Chris is the only person that can help provide a solution with X effectively, or at least he's the most effective person at providing the solution for X, then we have no choice but to hire Chris, right? That's the idea. And what I do with our company here, and I'm passionately a believer in this, like I give tons of amazing information. My goal is to just add value into the world, into the job search market space. And I believe money follows value. And I know there are a lot of people that want to go out and do this on their own, but I also know there are a lot of people that go out and do this on their own and struggle and come back to me 6, 7, 8 months later, realizing it wasn't as easy to do on their own as they thought it was going to be, right? And so one of the things that I do, just to kind of give you an example using my company and just being very transparent and open with you, is we create products and tools that basically say, okay, here's where you are. This is your problem. Your problem is if you're out of a job. You want to get to a job, right? And so A is you're out of a job. Z is you want to land your ideal position as quickly as possible, right? You want to land that optimum opportunity for yourself. But X is the variable. X are the things that are holding you back, right? They're the challenge points. You need a new resume. You need help with your branding. You need help with your LinkedIn profile. Maybe you need help communicating your value. Maybe you need help with the interview process. Maybe you need help identifying companies and targeting opportunities and connecting with key decision makers and doing the research behind all that, right? All those things are variables, and everybody has different levels of stress around each one of those variables. Some people only need one. Some people need help with everything. Some people feel like they can do it on their own, and some people can, quite frankly, do it on their own. But the bottom line is, what I like to do is give information, and this is what we do. But what I don't want to just work with anybody with our company. I want to work with people that I know we can add value to, right? So everything that I'm trying to do is saying, if you are here at A, where you're out of a job, and you want to get to Z, where landing your ideal opportunity, but you have all these variables, my job is to get you to understand that these are the roadblocks you're going to encounter. And if you're struggling with them and you don't feel like you can do them on your own, that's what we can do. And if you get to the point where you can believe that we can help you in those areas better than anybody else, then you kind of will feel like you have no choice but to work with us, right? And you know, that's just my open and honest perspective on marketing about what we do, because it just, to me, it's a money and value thing. If I can make it so clear for you, and I'm so of the belief, and I really truly am, that I can have a positive impact, and anybody that works with our organization will have such a positive experience and have such positive, we can have such a positive impact on their job search experience, that it'd be a no-brainer for them for the value, because everything has opportunity cost. Because yes, you could go pay to work with somebody, but you could go pay $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 to work with somebody, or you could just do a resume and you could pay a couple $100 to get a cheap, ineffective resume without thinking about all the other elements. The bottom line is, this isn't about me trying to sell my services. I'm just trying to get you to understand that that concept exists in every product, every service, anything that you are ever going to sell. And so when you're going into this preparation process and you're using the EPIC interview process, I'm going to just talk about this in terms of an interview right now. You want to make sure you're uncovering all the relevant information, and you want to make sure you are looking for that big domino. You want to know where they are, where they want to go. You want to identify the variables and the problems, and you want to be a solutions provider, and you want to show them and get them to believe that this is their biggest hurdle, these are their biggest challenges, and you are the person that can solve those challenges for them. And if you can get them to believe that, they have no choice but to hire you. So that's it. It's a quick podcast today. Really simple, really straightforward, but so very important. So anyway, I hope it helps. I hope you go out there, have a blessed, inspirational day, and you just absolutely crush it. And I can't wait to talk to you on the next podcast. Take care. Thanks so much for listening. As a token of my gratitude, I want to give you free access to my Executive Job Search Secrets Masterclass that'll walk you through the 5 steps we use with every single one of our clients to help them find their ideal job in the shortest time possible. If you look below, the link to the masterclass and your free access will be listed in the description of this podcast episode. I hope it makes a huge impact in your job search. Go out there and crush it. I'll see you on the next podcast.
Like what you just heard, visit c-suiteradio.com. C-Suite Radio, turning the volume up on business.